Hello, friends. How are you today? Where you are? Is it cold? Well, Nairobi has been wishy-washy. Let's put it that way. Mara it is warm. Mara it is cold. I try to go out and and sun myself, and the sun disappeared. Then I come back in the house, and it comes out again. I give up. Anyway, today I would like to talk about my grandfathers. Of the many that I had, the family, the Mbano family is huge. But the grandfather I saw were the actual father of my father. I never got to see him. He'd already passed on by the time I was born, actually. But I saw my grandmother, and she died when I was about 6 years old. But the grandfather who I saw longest, and I really loved the man because he was a storyteller. That man, we have folk tales. We call them wano in Ukambani, and the what's it the picture that you see, the thumbnail that you see is him. He's a tall one covered by the blanket with his wife. They used to live in Tanzania. That was his home. Actually, if you've read my autobiography, you'll see that I visited him one time in 1970 when I was in Standard 5. But what I loved about that man was the tales. He was a storyteller. Absolutely amazing, absolutely captivating. And I don't know whether I got that from him because I've become quite a storyteller. I've become quite a storyteller myself. As you can ask, if you saw the post by George Ogutu the other day when I delivered my autobiography to him. So I told him a few with his friend Mr. Okwem. I told them a few stories, and they were really titillated. Uh, almost forgot I had other appointments to keep. Anyway, so uh, since I loved that story, then I think I became a storyteller. Maybe copying him. Maybe it's the DNA because I never met him. It was called Mahati. Mahati, my grandfather, my direct grandfather, was called Yambo. He's called Yambo, but I never got to him. So I'm assuming that since they are brothers, they were both storytellers. And so maybe it came through my father to me. So I'm a storyteller. Those who have read my book, and it is important that I tell you this. Those who have read my book can see a story well told. It's basically about life. But because I'm a born storyteller, I think and I believe, and I have reason to believe so. I've told it in such a way that a lot of people find it difficult to put the book down once they start reading it. So um, you can see it right. You can see behind me. The book is there. There is a first edition, the second edition, the revised edition, which is currently in the market. So if you really want to read a story, and it's an African story, it's a Kenyan story, it most probably resonates with most of you because you went through primary school, you went through high school, probably went through the University of Nairobi. If you're my age mate, because it was the only university at that time, you got employed. Employment was easy. It was not like nowadays where people look for jobs for 20 years and they never get them. But us would get employed within less than a month. And the options were there. Like an accountant like me, I could either become an auditor, I could join the various auditing firms, or the civil service, or the banks. I mean, the choice was there, but I really wanted to join the civil service for reasons that I've put in my book also. So I am is it advising or requesting, or I'm not sure the right word. Encouraging, yes, but I encourage you to go and get that book. You can get it from me directly. Just inbox me. I'll give you the directions, how to pay, and then you tell me where to have it delivered. I've got some very interesting guys called Pickup Mtaani. Very, very affordable, and they are very efficient. They operate like the Muslim Hawala. Is it Muslim? I think Hawala is Muslim, where you give money here and somebody picks from another part of the world. So these guys have got shopkeepers all over who move parcels from one shop to another one. So you'll pick from your nearest shop, which I find very impressive. And they have let me down so far only twice out of almost 300-400 deliveries. So I think that's a very fair. That's a very fair, success rate, almost 99%. So I stopped using the Wells Fargo's and the G4S, unless, of course, in places where these guys are not servicing. So if you want to really know that I'm a storyteller, and I can give you a bet, if you don't find the story well told, I will refund half of the money, not all of it. But you have to get at least 10 people to corroborate that the story is not well told. Then I refund all of you half of your money. Is that a deal or is that a deal? Anyway, wishing you a pleasant evening and the rest of the week. And be good.